Yo, good morning, top of the morning, top of the afternoon, wherever you should be finding this. I hope you're having a great day. I hope the sun is shining wherever you are. And if it's not shining on the outside, I absolutely hope that it's shining on the inside, which is the most important part. Some of y'all might be experiencing some rain, but as a great friend once told me, it's not rain, it's liquid sunshine. So here we go with another opportunity to be better today than we were yesterday. Welcome. Obviously, my name is Sam Pearson II, and I am here to help you be just a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Not being so focused on being perfect, but doing our best to make a little bit of progress. And that being said, as we move on right now, we all understand that conflict is a thing. Chaos is a thing. But what can also be a thing is how we communicate through conflict and its resulting trauma. How are we communicating with people that we know, like, and love? And more importantly, how are we communicating with those that we do not know, like, and love? Oh, anyway. All right, great. So we all know that, especially during this season, now, what you all might be hearing right now, or when you're hearing this, it's in 2020. Let's say 100 years from now, this particular video podcast, if you will, is archived, and you come across, you go, what are you talking about? What's happening in 2020? Well, there's been some social unrest. There's absolutely been a pandemic. And then there's like this presidential election that's going on, that's over, that's not really over. It might be over. I don't know if it's ever going to be over. But anyway, it's going to happen every 4 years, no matter what. This year in particular, there's been a lot of difficult conversations and chaos and confusion around conversations in general. But what we find, this is what happens regularly. It is a cycle, not just with the election cycle, but people. We communicate. Sometimes we don't do that in the best ways. So what I'm here today to do is to talk to you about how you can navigate difficult conversations. Some of this may seem a little bit elementary, or, oh, I knew that. But guess what? Even the best choirs in the world need rehearsal. The best players practice. So who are we not to do the same? Thing number one that you want to do when trying to navigating a difficult conversation, again, it's going to seem elementary, but I doubt you do it intentionally. That's breathe. Not as you're regularly breathing. Oh, Stan, I breathe all the time. Duh. But when someone says something that you don't like, that you don't love, that you don't understand, do you breathe before you respond, or do you just respond? You just speak, right? That can put you at a disadvantage even moving forward in the conversation. So number one, before you breathe, before you say anything, before you respond, make sure you breathe. Take an intentional breath. There's a guy by the name, he goes by Scorpion, but Walter O'Brien. There's a show named after him called Scorpion. But I remember meeting him and having conversations and dinner with him. And when anyone asked him a question, he always took a deep breath. And then he delivered his answer or response. And I found that to be really powerful. He has a tremendous IQ, from what I understand, and tremendous business and work ethic. But it was so telling how every time something happened, anytime anyone asked him a question, he thought enough of it to breathe before he responded. And I will also let you all know this. Listen, an angry mind cannot think. So if you are in a debate situation or you are in a difficult discussion, what you want to be able to do is bring your best version of you. You want to say what's going to help, what's going to impact, what's going to be fact, right, or close to you. And you can only do that if you breathe. Again, an angry mind cannot think. Number two, something people normally don't do, even in regular conversations, let alone in a debate discussion, that is ask a follow-up question, right? Most people barely ask anything. They just give a response. So what if you were willing, regardless of what was said, ask a follow-up question directly related to what we're having a discussion about? Now, that might be about belief systems. It might be about diversity. It might be about mindset. It might be about what you did right or what you did wrong in your relationship. But being willing to pause, breathe, and then ask that follow-up question, right? Ask that. Now, number three, if we're talking about being solution-based, which a lot of people claim to be, but we never ask a question that will help improve the situation. So number three is simply asking. So how could this get better? How can we improve the situation? Right? So many people, especially those who are strong-willed and their beliefs are deepened, right? They think they know everything anyway. Or I sometimes think I know everything, right? So what way to put the ball in their court? Give them an opportunity to give all the answers they think they know. So how can we solve this? How can we improve the situation or circumstance for A, B, and C? How powerful is that? If you're willing to ask someone and then wait for their response, put the ball in their court. You may experience silence. In negotiation, silence is amazing if you're willing to stick to it. These are 3 small things that will help you navigate difficult situations. It will put the work in someone else's hands so you're not overly stressed and overwhelmed by what's going on and how it's happening. If you're willing to do those things, I guarantee you that the way you move in conversations will begin to shift. You may find that people may be a bit frustrated because you're actually asking questions that want to get to a solution. So, number 1, make sure you take an intentional breath. Make sure you are willing to breathe. And then respond. Right? Number 2, make sure you ask that follow-up question to what the person was speaking to. Okay, all right. So what makes you feel that way? All right. Where did you learn that? Where did that come from? Why does that upset you? Right? Those are all valid questions to ask in passionate any conversation, especially a passionate one, right? Feelings, emotions do absolutely get involved. Sometimes we want to work beyond that, right? And get to a point where conversation can have some resolve. So it's important to understand where someone's coming from. Again, get this. We want to make sure that we choose empathy over ego. All too often in these debates and these difficult conversations, we choose ego because ego keeps us alive. It keeps us comfortable. It keeps us strong. It keeps us confident, even in moments where we should have less confidence about the stance that we're taking, right? But if you're willing to choose empathy over ego, if it's about power, then that actually gives you more power. It gives you more to stand on because then you're willing to understand at a deeper level than most people are, okay? Then number 3 is asking, so how can we improve this? How can we help this get better? Think about this. These are all you've not yet given an answer. You've not given a response. You've not said anything yet outside of asking these questions. Who's doing all the work? The other person. And even still working towards developing their thinker, their mindset, their mental state, while reserving and preserving your level of mental health. All important things if we're talking about navigating difficult situations. There are many other ways to do that, but this is absolutely 3 profound ways to help navigate difficult situations. I hope that was helpful to you. If it was, make sure you tag someone in the comment section so they can watch this and learn a little bit. Feel free to share this with an audience that you think would be served well by understanding how they can navigate difficult situations. These are really small things that yield great benefit and will give you great relief as we look to be better versions of ourselves every single day and live in the place that we say we want to live, which is more healthy, more thought-provoking, and more understanding. Remember, be willing to choose empathy over ego. Thank you all so very much. Remember, 24/7, 365 and 1/4 days a year, that you're good, you're great, you're worth it. Don't be so worried about being perfect. Just try and make a little bit of progress. And in saying that, I want to remind you all today and always that effort on fire beats knowledge on ice. I look forward to also seeing you all at the Conflict Summit. If you have any questions about the Conflict Summit, simply go to theconflictsummit.com. Again, theconflictsummit.com. And if you're like, oh my God, this guy Stan Pearson seems amazing, you would be correct. That's number 1. Number 2, so make sure you just go to Stan Pearson a second, or go to stanpearson.com. Again, stanpearson.com to learn a little bit more about me, what I do and how I do it. And all my social medias at The Real Stan P. Again, that's at The Real Stan P. All my social media in case someday somebody wants to be the fake one. Again, at The Real Stan P. I appreciate you all. Remember, Every day above ground is a good day. It gives us an opportunity to be a little bit better today than we were yesterday. Have a great one. Be good to you and those around you, and watch your world begin to change. This is Stan Pearson II. You heard it here first. Peace.